All right, let's settle one of the biggest questions in whiskey. What's the difference between bourbon and whiskey? You've probably heard people say all bourbon is whiskey, but not all whiskey is bourbon. Sounds like a riddle, right? Don't worry, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what that means and how to tell them apart in one sip. Welcome back to Learn Your Bourbon, brought to you by the BTM Reviews Bourbon channel. Part 1. What is whiskey? Before we get specific, let's zoom out. Whiskey, spelled with or without the E, depending on where it's made, is any spirit distilled from grains aged in wood barrels. That includes bourbon, Scotch, Irish, Japanese, Tennessee, rye, Canadian, and more. Think of whiskey as the big family name and bourbon as one of its American kids. They all share the same roots, but each has its own personality. Part 2. What makes bourbon different? Here's what separates bourbon from the rest of the whiskey world. To legally be called bourbon, it must follow 5 rules. 1. Made in the United States. 2. At least 51% corn in the mash bill. 3. Distilled no more than 160 proof. 4. Aged in new oak American barrels that are charred. And 5. No added flavors or colors, just grain, yeast, water, wood, and time. All those rules add up to one thing: flavor. Bourbon is known for its sweetness, vanilla, caramel, and rich oak. That's the American corn and fresh charred wood doing their thing. Part 3. The other whiskeys explained. Now let's talk about bourbon's cousins. Scotch whiskey comes from Scotland. It's made mostly from malted barley and aged in used barrels. That's where it picks up that smoky, earthy character, especially if it's peated. Irish whiskey is usually triple distilled, which makes it smooth, light, and slightly fruity. Tennessee whiskey, like Jack Daniel's, is basically bourbon, but it goes through an extra charcoal filtering step called the Lincoln County process for a mellow edge. And Japanese whiskey, that's the Zen Master. Delicate, balanced, often inspired by Scotch, but focused on precision and subtlety. Part 4. Part 4, we have a chart here. And we're going to just see what this is. So this is the type. We have bourbon, Scotch, Irish whiskey, Japanese whiskey. Chart also shows its country of origin. We have a flavor profile and what we should expect to get out of each different distillate. And we also have some common notes. So take a little time, read that. The thing you need to remember is they all start with grains and time, but the wood, weather, and method define their soul. Part 5. Let's talk about something fun. How bourbon compares to Scotch. Even without tasting them side by side, the differences are easy to understand. Bourbon usually brings a darker color thanks to new charred oak barrels. The nose is full of vanilla, caramel, and baking spice. And the first sip hits with sweetness up front and a warm, rich finish. Scotch, on the other hand, is often lighter in color because it ages in used barrels. Depending on the region, the nose can lean smoky, earthy, or malty, and the flavor tends to unfold more gently with a softer finish. Two totally different philosophies. Two totally different flavor worlds. Neither better, just different experiences aimed at different palates. Please leave a comment on whether you're team bourbon or team scotch. So now you know, bourbon is whiskey, but whiskey isn't always bourbon. Bourbon's the bold American cousin, sweet, rich, and a little loud. The rest of the world makes whiskey their own way, smoother, smokier, or subtler. Next time on Learn Your Bourbon, we'll show you how to taste like a pro and pick out the flavors you love most. Till next time, stay curious, pour something good, and learn your bourbon. Cheers.
My Spain was a brilliant band.